If you're considering a move to a retirement community, particularly if it's a continuing care retirement community, also known as a CCRC or a life plan community, be sure to ask if that community has access to myLifeSite's suite of financial tools, because we've built a couple of different tools that are designed specifically to help people sort of run the numbers, as we often hear. We've found over the years that a lot of people use spreadsheets at home to try to project out what this could look like financially over the long term and how it could impact their estate and what their heirs would receive and just the year to year cost and that kind of thing. And it's really hard to do on a spreadsheet. And in fact, many financial planning software programs that are used by advisors don't really account for some of the nuance that goes into this. And so our tools, we built them specifically for this exact purpose. And just to give you an example, and as I've mentioned in today's blog post, there's a couple of different ways contracts can work when you move into a community like that. One particular way would be like this. You can see here in the case of a couple, we have the first person fee, and this is the monthly fee, and the second person monthly fee. And this is for independent living. So they're living in the community independently, not receiving any care. Now, one person, either spouse, let's say they need care all of a sudden, sometime in the future. And let's say it's deemed to be a permanent move as opposed to a temporary rehab type of situation. Well, in that case, what would happen with this particular type of contract is that this second person amount, the 1,200, would drop off so that that other person who's still in independent living would only pay the 3,800. So you have a $1,200 cost reduction. But again, with this type of contract, at the same time, there's another adjustment taking place because that person who is now receiving care, say assisted living or nursing care, will now pick up the cost of that care. So I've got 7,000 in here, say for assisted living, or 9,500 for nursing care, and you can assign how many years you want to put for each of those. All of this is hypothetical, obviously, but it gives us a really easy way to see what this could look like. So in this case, 1,200 drops off, but then they're picking up 7,000 or 9,500 or whatever those costs may be. So you have that adjustment taking place. And that's an example of the kind of thing that's really hard to put into a spreadsheet. And that doesn't even account for all the other things like growth rates and inflation rates and other variables like that that can be entered in here as well. And once that's done, of course, you can hit calculate, and it really shows kind of on a year by year basis, what this could look like. Again, all hypothetical. It even gives you a year by year analysis, which is really nice. But then we can always go back in and change anything and recalculate it to see how that would affect things. So there are other types of contracts, just as an example, where this second person fee does not drop off. And I alluded to this in the blog post today, but it does not drop off. They would continue paying this combined amount no matter where they are within that community. And then in that case, you would not add these additional costs. So there's just lots of different ways that these contracts work. And that's part of the problem, is how do you really account for that in these projections? And this is a tool, again, that was designed exactly for that. So you can put in whatever you want to see. And then run those numbers and see those scenarios and everything. So really helpful tool. Again, be sure to ask any community that you're meeting with if they have access to these resources. And of course, if not, they can always reach out to us. We'd be glad to let them try it out for a little while. Thank you.